All right, so the problem we have today is this. Like the wire snapped for me, which kind of sucks, but you know, it's an easy fix. You just buy a new wire, right? Well, let me tell you what, that wire costs about $70 more than I paid for this lawnmower, which was nothing. So I ain't gonna do that. But I did buy this thing off of Amazon. This is a like a kit to like keep the old casing and just change the broken wire. So we'll see how this works. It's got some like I don't know, fittings, universal fittings there in order to make it fit. And I am very confident that this is gonna work. So yeah, let's swap out this wire inside of that casing, and I bet you this is gonna work. All right, so let's see here what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna go ahead and remove the gas tank so we can get some easier access into there. All right, so let's see what this is. Is it a number 10? Yes, it is. Yeah, like I said, I think these are 3/8. These are American stuff. All lawnmower stuff is like American threads. I don't know why. What do you call it? English threads. I don't know. All right, just pop this off. Just gonna put this to the side. I'm not gonna worry about removing it. All right, so here's the problem. As you can see, there's supposed to be a wire attached right here. And when you pull this wire, you engage the cutting deck. And this is what I'm talking about. Like there's no problem with this casing. It's just the wire that's been rusted out. Since this thing has been sitting in the woods, I bet water has been coming down right here and going into the wire, which made it weak. And that's why it finally snapped. I think we're gonna have to head down to the cutting deck and see if we can find the wire with the other side of it. Maybe some remains of the old wire. All right, so when we head down to the cutting deck, you know, we used to be up there, and now we're down here. Here we can see where the wire kind of comes out. And it is, yep, it's a little bit stuck in there, but it's definitely not easy to pull it out. But there we go. And here's the other end. How do I get that off? Right there, there's a sprint. And I gotta pull that out before I can unhook the spring and then get everything out. So I'm gonna do that. Kind of hard to do it while filming, but I'll give it a try. Oh, there we go. Yeah, make sure you don't lose that. And there's the spring with the wire. And it's pretty easy to see that, you know, this has been covered in there's a lot of rust, is what I'm saying. And it broke right up here. All right, so we just pull this wire out. And you can see it has this, like, I don't know what to call this, like a pressed thing on there. All right, so let's open up this bag here and see what we're gonna need. All right, get rid of that. All right, so let's see what thickness. We have two different sizes here. I can tell you that this one is pretty thick. Let's see if I can't measure that. All right, so let's see here. This one is 1.5. And this one is 1.4. So there's a slight difference, but that's okay. It's better that it's 1.4 than 1.6, obviously. So let's look at this guy. Let's see how thick this is. That is 1 millimeter. Okay, so we got 1.4 and 1.0 and 1.5. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna use the thicker one. And I hope it's gonna be long enough. Oh yeah. That's probably 2.5 meters, easy. Yeah, 2.5 meters, I'd say. So we don't have any problem with that. Let's see which one of these is, well, there's a lot of attachments here. Well, I guess I could use something like this. Put it in there as well. That would actually work pretty good. I think I'm gonna do that. Thread it through. And there we go. So we're gonna go from this to this. But I think it will be just fine. Let me push the wire through. And there we go. I mean, we could even be really professional here and put that there. Oh, this is high performance stuff now. All right. I think that'll work just fine. And then up top, maybe this guy or any one else of these. I think basically all of them will work. So that is really good. All right. I'm happy with that. Let's put this back on. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is an extra step that you can take to kind of prevent this from happening, which is just take some power lube or whatever you have, WD-40, like it don't really matter. Then you just shoot some of that down the empty wire hole. Oh, I'm gonna shoot it upwards. Well, as you all saw, there was a lot of crap in there. So you don't want that stuff in there. You want to blow that out. All right, sending the wire up. Is it through? All right, so let's feed this wire through. Like this is the original, this is what the original wire used to sit in. That is still there, so we're gonna use that and we're gonna thread the wire through it. Now obviously we're gonna have to adjust this a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the spring back on underneath here on the cutting deck, put the springs back on, and then we'll come back up here and adjust this so that it doesn't get too tight or something like that, so we don't cut the wire too short. I think I'm gonna cut this wire, like if I put it at the end, like it's never gonna go higher than that. And then I'll give it about a couple of centimeters extra. That's where I'll cut the wire. So then I always have some adjustment. Cut that off. Now we can put one of those locks on there. I'm gonna go ahead and go with this small little lock here. It needs to be a lot tighter than that. That feels good. That feels kind of like it did before it broke off. I'm gonna call it a day. I think that's fine. That is good enough. All right, so let's try this out and see if it works. Let's put everything back and we'll pop that new battery over there and get that in there. And then we'll see if it connects. All right, you guys, so we got the battery in there, nice and tight. Got the proper battery this time. Last time it was this tiny, tiny battery, so hopefully this will last a lot longer. All right, so let's see if we can get this cutting deck turning. All right, so I don't know what's up with that, but we got it kind of fixed now. We gotta replace that or something. I don't know, I guess these don't take on water very good. So let's rehook the battery and try this again. In order for this to start, You can't have the cutting deck engaged, obviously. Can't remember how that one was supposed to be. Right, started right up. Awesome. Give it some revs. Oops. Well, that worked out fine. I'll call that a success. The cutting deck engages and we can finish cutting the lawn the last time. All right, well, I'm glad y'all watched this little episode, although it wasn't too much. We put a new battery in her, we got the wire fixed. Next thing to do with this thing, I guess, is the tires. And we also have this belt right here. This is the drive belt. Obviously, I can still drive it, so I'm just gonna wait until it snaps, because why change it if it hasn't snapped? So maybe that'll happen next year. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Ha det gött. Hej.